Krishna, Krishna,
Give me the
Krishna,
connector.
Hare Hare Rama,
Put these things in your ears.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
What did you do with this?
Oh,
Complicated.
it's not complicated, it's simple. You just didn't take care of it.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, oh Rama, Rama, Hare
There you go.
Hare.
I don't know if I'm far away from you.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to hear each other as well.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, one way I can make it a little bit easier is if I do this, but it would be kind of a little bit weird, but whatever. Okay. Now you can hear us, but there's a bit of an echo. You can hear me talking? Yes! Yes!
That's the echo. That's the echo.
Okay.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
All right.
Rama,
Ready to go live? Oh, people can hear us talking.
Okay.
Lol.
Behind
Thanks
you.
for pointing that out. Welcome, Michael McNeish. Welcome to everyone who's listening live now as we get our new headphones working. You're listening to the dulcet sounds of Gauradas, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, with his jazz rendition, the classic Mahamantra tune. Prajumna Prabhu on guitar.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
From the ethereal realm of devotion to the practicality of daily spiritual practice, across the vast landscape of Vedic wisdom and teachings, this is Vaishnava Voices. Hosted by the dynamic husband and wife duo, Sitapati Das and Danna Devi, they bring to you an intimate exploration of the vibrant world of Vaishnavism. Interweaving ancient scriptures with modern contexts, personal stories with universal lessons, they illuminate the path of love, devotion, and conscious living.
Hare Krishna, and welcome everyone to another episode of Vaishnava Voices. I'm your co-host, Sitapati Das, and beside me, as always, is the wonderful Danna Devi. Today, as with every episode, we're diving deep into the heart of Vaishnava teachings, exploring the wisdom, culture, and practices that guide us towards a life filled with devotion and service.
That's right, Sitapati. We are thrilled to have you on this journey with us. Whether you are a seasoned devotee, a spiritual seeker, or simply curious about Vaishnavism, here in Vaishnava Voices, we are all about fostering connection, understanding, and growth. And remember, we are not just exploring, we are also experiencing. So let's begin.
So sit back, prepare your hearts and minds, and tune into the sounds of the soul on Vaishnava Voices.
Parambijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, total world victory of Hare Krishna. Welcome to today's episode of the Vaishnava Voices podcast. My name is Sitapati Das.
And my name is Danna Devi.
And today we are talking with Radha Krishna Das, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, lives in the UK, and he is the president of Good Gardeners International. And on Facebook, he's Vedic Agriculture. This is the second time we're speaking with him.
Mm-hmm.
We talked with him, and we talked with him last night, actually, getting things together. He's not quite online yet. He's still coming. It's like, what is it? It's 6:30 p.m. here in New Zealand, which makes it 7:30 a.m. in the United Kingdom. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in right now. Feel free to leave a comment, give us a thumbs up, share, tag a friend who you think might be interested in learning about the Vedic science of agriculture.
Mm.
Yeah, you might have, as Michael pointed out, you might have heard us talking earlier. We've been testing out a few new kind of little gadgets and things to get that. We got a new camera, as you might have noticed. A new cam link for connecting the camera to the computer. We got that from Arjuna from the Theology Unleashed channel. Shout outs to Arjuna. And we're testing out some new sound monitoring things, which is why Danna Devi looks like she's in the Secret Service. You know, if you put it in your other ear, it will probably be less. See how my ear here has nothing in it? It's because it's in this ear.
Yeah.
If you put the other one in, then that one would be.
Oh my gosh.
Let me try it. Let me help you out here.
Okay.
Oh, but that's the ear closest to me. But that's okay. You can still hear me. You're not like a deafened musician from decades of kirtan and rock music.
No.
Yet. Unplug the other one from the other ear. And then it's like there's nothing there.
Okay, my neck can hear. Yay.
Now your neck can hear. Okay.
Okay, that's better. Put the hair back.
Yeah. Yeah, we were testing some solutions to see if we could have both of them in and then still hear each other talking, but it's my creaking seat.
Slowly we will update everything.
Yeah, we'll make everything
Upgrade.
amazing until it looks like people will be like, they must be being funded by the CIA. Otherwise, how could they have such a good studio, you know? I mean, when we started, it was pretty ghetto.
Yep.
And that wasn't that long ago.
Quite simple.
Yeah, quite simple. So there's a little bit of kind of meta chat about the the podcast and the production of the podcast.
Mm. And talking about garden, springtime is coming and we're getting things sorted at home, I guess, in the land.
Yeah, you know, the weather is changing.
It's a bit more sunny. More days of sun. That makes it a bit better.
Yeah, the weather's it's changing, it's warmer. You know, I've been taking a cold shower in the morning, as I do.
Mm-hmm.
And then before it was like a shock.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, this is actually quite nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what the average temperature is like. Weather. Eltham. Taranaki.
We still have some pretty cold nights, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of like between 3
Wow.
and 7 degrees. It's not like sub-zero. Like it went to sub-zero.
Did it?
Yeah, it was like
Okay.
snowing on the mountain. It was frost outside. It was like cold. You know, the difference between 0 and 3 degrees is like it's quite significant. Huh. Michael says we could discuss strategies for protection against wildfires. You paint everything blue, apparently.
A lot of yagyas for Krishna and Lord Indra, because he's in charge of rain.
Think of
And a
time.
lot of kirtan, and Krishna himself would provide that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Protects you against all ethnic groups of space lasers as well as wildfires.
Mm. And in that sense, we don't have any issues with the wildfires here because
New Zealand's not a place that has wildfires, is it?
no, we have a more rain
Damn.
than any other places. Fires from what?
Fire started from lasers. Yeah, same kind of thing. I mean,
dig your what do you call this one? That rabbit hole?
hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Huh.
The
Yeah.
only problem will be the smoke getting in there. So
I might see if I can call. Let me see if I can call Radha
yeah.
Krishna Prabhu. I'll call him on my phone, actually.
Hopefully he's okay because he was punctual yesterday,
Well,
wasn't it?
more or less.
Okay. Mm. Maybe the rabbit is eating the carrots, so he's chasing the rabbit.
One never knows, do they? One never knows,
yeah.
do they? That's correct. Let's see if we can get him on here.
What else? I guess just get out of the cities would be the best idea for now.
Well, people don't usually get affected by wildfires in the city, right? It's kind of like a strategy to get people off the land
Yeah.
into the cities.
I guess the other thing right now, what's happening is the planetary alignment. I think Mars is strong at the moment, and it's in Leo, so more fires and also more issues from the government. Yeah, because Leo, it represents the government.
The government.
Yeah,
Leo
the
does. The lion.
Yeah, Leo. And sun, position of the sun
Okay.
represents the government.
We could have a look at. Let's have a look at this.
Mhm.
Okay, we're just gonna go full into it. Here we go. Let me present my screen. Let's do it. While we're waiting for Prabhu to come, what we can do here is, you guys are gonna love this. Absolutely love it. We're gonna do a commentary on the 12th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter number 2. Canto 12 is called the Age of Deterioration. So remember, Krishna leaves in the 10th canto, right? At the end of the 10th canto. And so in Canto 12, Chapter 2, the symptoms of Kali Yuga. This chapter relates that when the bad qualities of the age of Kali will increase to an intolerable level, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will descend as Kalki to destroy those who are fixed in irreligion. After that, a new Satya-yuga will begin. So we're in the Kali Yuga where there's a micro golden age at the beginning of Kali Yuga. And some people, like my friend Truth Rising TV from Rumble, Chris Copeland, he'll say that, look, some people say that the calculation was wrong and actually the Kali Yuga is finishing. We're going into the Satya-yuga. Well, you see, the thing is that since we're going into this mini golden age within the Kali Yuga, it actually looks exactly the same as if it was. So what we're going to see now is we're going to see the end of Kali Yuga and the beginning of Satya-yuga now.
But I don't think it's going to be an abrupt change. It will be like a very, like right now, all of the things that is happening in the world.
Exactly.
Governments are becoming a little bit strange, and people are becoming absurdly strange.
Yeah, so here's this exactly what it says here. As the age of Kali progresses, all good qualities of men diminish and all impure qualities increase.
Yeah.
Atheistic systems of so-called religion become predominant, replacing the codes of Vedic law. The kings become just like highway bandits. The people in general become dedicated to low occupations, and all the social classes become just like śūdras. All cows become like goats. All spiritual hermitages become like materialistic homes, and family ties extend no further than the immediate relationship of marriage. When the age of Kali is almost ended, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will incarnate. So in this case, it's in the form Kali Nama Rupe Krishna Avatara, in the form of his holy names. So then the signs of the next Satya-yuga will begin to appear. The moon, the sun, and the planet Brihaspati enter simultaneously into one constellation and conjoin in the lunar mansion. Pushya Satya-yuga will begin. So let's go into this. So here's the qualities of the age of Kali. Text 1. Shukadev Goswami said, "Then, O king, religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, tolerance, mercy, duration of life, physical strength, and memory will all diminish day by day because of the powerful influence of the age of Kali. Maybe let's have a look at the purports. These purports were written by maybe not. Let's just go over the verses. We can look at the purports another time. Text 2. In Kali Yuga, wealth alone will be considered the sign of a man's good birth, proper behavior, and fine qualities. So, today, if you got a lot of money, you're just like famous and amazing.
You're like
right?
the god.
Yeah. Doesn't matter who you are. You could be Snoop Dogg, whatever. And law and justice will be applied only on the basis of one's power.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now. Who has the money has the ability to pay under the table.
It's called the golden rule, right?
and
Whoever
then-
has the gold makes the rules.
And then you get the favor there.
Men and women will live together merely because of, thank you, superficial attraction, and success in business will depend on deceit. Womanliness and manliness will be judged according to one's expertise in sex.
Oh, that's actually true.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like the more you sleep with men or the more you sleep with women, there's like, oh my gosh, they must be really good. Actually, they are so degraded. So degraded.
Let's have a look. Is there anything cool in this one? It's about marriage. A corollary point established in this verse is that in the age of Kali, a woman is considered a good woman if she's sexually attractive and indeed sexually efficient. Similarly, a sexually attractive man is a good man. The best example of the superficiality is the incredible attention 20th century people give to materialistic movie stars, music stars, and other prominent figures in the entertainment industry. In fact, pursuing sexual experiences with various types of bodies is similar to drinking old wine from new bottles, but few people in the Kali Yuga can understand this. Written 50 years ago in the 20th century, we're in the 21st century now, right? And a man will be known as a Brahmana just by his wearing a thread.
Yep, we have so many of those now in the temples.
A person's spiritual position will be ascertained merely according to external symbols, and on the same basis, people will change from one spiritual order to the next.
Mm-hmm.
A person's propriety will be seriously questioned if he does not earn a good living, and one who is very clever at juggling words will be considered a learned scholar.
Oh, we have a lot of those people.
Mhm.
Very flowery, they call it, flowery.
Yeah.
Too much of word salad, and then
Sophistry, it's called.
and then they become like, oh my gosh, this person is learned. Actually, it's not learned, it's just pure bluff.
What if we can just...
And they don't even have common sense.
Well,
It's a bit too big.
I'm trying to get just one. Yeah, this is good. We can just get one verse at a time on here. Okay, next verse. A person will be judged unholy if he does not have money, and hypocrisy will be accepted as virtue. Marriage will be arranged simply by verbal agreement, and a person will think he is fit to appear in public if he has merely taken a bath.
Oh.
So you know what this purport says in here? It says that actually you should wear tilak.
That's just too degraded.
Let's have a look. Western religious fanatics. Okay. Institution of marriage. And then people will neglect to ornament their bodies properly in this present age. A human being should decorate his body with various religious ornaments. Vaishnavas mark their bodies with tilak, blessed with the holy name of God, but in the age of Kali, religious and even material formalities are thoughtlessly discarded. Personally, I think this verse is kind of more along the lines of not performing any kind of like ritualistic purification, like of the mind through meditation or chanting of mantras or anything like that. A sacred place will be taken to consist of no more than a reservoir of water located at a distance, and beauty will be thought to depend on one's hairstyle. Filling the belly will become the goal of life, and one who is audacious will be accepted as truthful. He who can maintain a family will be regarded as an expert man, and the principles of religion will be observed only for the sake of reputation. Can I get rid of this thing? What is that even doing there? What is that? Paragraph menu.
I don't know what it is, but it appears.
As the earth thus becomes crowded with a corrupt population, whoever among any of the social classes shows himself to be the strongest will gain political power. Losing their wives and properties To such avaricious and merciless rulers who will behave no better than ordinary thieves, the citizens will flee to the mountains and forests. I just want to get rid of this thing. It's annoying me.
It's time to do it. Go to the mountains. Get your wife. That is simple life, and don't associate with those low-class people.
Goodbye. There we go. Got rid of it.
Do you know that? So weird. Oh, codes.
Harassed by famine and excessive taxes, people will resort to eating leaves, roots, flesh, wild honey, fruits, flowers, and seeds. Struck by drought, they will be completely ruined. We're still waiting for Radha Krishna Prabhu to come on to talk about Vedic agriculture. I didn't mean for this to become like a deep conspiracy thing, but this is New Zealand eat grass. Why people should be eating New Zealand grass. Look at this. When I saw this, I thought of this verse from the Bhagavatam.
I saw that.
You seen that? Hang on, I've got to change my present. Stop the screen. I've got to share the whole browser tab, whole browser window to get that. Window, let's go with this. Ta-da! Why people should be eating New Zealand grass. See this? You'll have nothing and you'll be happy. You know what it says in the Bhagavatam? It says, people will resort to eating leaves, roots, flesh, wild honey, fruits, flowers, and seeds. Struck by drought, they will be completely ruined. The citizens will suffer greatly. Here we go. Climate change. Citizens will suffer greatly from cold, wind, heat, rain, and snow. They'll be further tormented by quarrels, hunger, thirst, disease, and severe anxiety. The maximum duration of life for human beings in Kali Yuga will become 50 years. Now, this has a very interesting purport. Check this one out.
50 years. Wow.
Yeah, but look what it says in here. Oh, it doesn't. Okay. Where is it? It might be somewhere else. But anyway, it says that when you adjust the duration of life for people based on like an average, and you include all of the children who are aborted in the United States, it brings the average duration of life down to 50 years. Because people are like, oh, people's lifespan has increased due to like modern technology and everything. Like people live to be 80, 84 years. It's like, yeah, but on average, because you're killing so many children, it turns out to be closer to 50 as an average.
Probably less now.
By the time the age of Kali ends, the bodies of all creatures will be greatly reduced in size, and the religious principles of followers of Varnashram will be ruined.
Oh.
The path of the Vedas will be completely forgotten in human society. So-called religion will be mostly atheistic. The kings will be mostly thieves. The occupations of men will be stealing, lying, and needless violence. And all the social classes will be reduced to the lowest level of śūdras. Cows will be like goats. Spiritual hermitages will be no different from mundane houses. And family ties will extend no further than the immediate bonds of marriage. Most plants and herbs will be tiny, and all trees will appear like dwarf shami trees. You know, like, even if you have a look at the size of trees, right? Like if we have a look at like ancient trees.
Oh, they were absolutely massive.
Images.
Huge.
Let's see. Pioneers. Cutting down trees. Most of the trees that we see around us now are tiny because they cut down all the big ones and there just hasn't been time for them to grow back. Like these are trees that had grown for hundreds and hundreds of years. Now, because all the trees have been cut down, I mean, look at the size of this tree. There's like two guys lying end to end inside it, and it's still bigger than they are. Like massive. Look at the size of this thing. These little people sitting on top of it.
Horrible.
But then there's another conspiracy theory, right? Like it's called, let's try ancient, gigantic stone trees. Like this one here, see? Here's a tree stump, but this here, those are trees at the bottom. That's what we call a mountain. So this is a conspiracy theory about how these ancient things are actually petrified trees. I mean, look at how much these two look similar, right? And of course, someone can say that's apophenia and it doesn't mean that they are, but especially because Srila Prabhupada explains in the Bhagavatam that mountains used to fly. They used to be flying, but now they're like landed on the ground and they don't go anywhere. But this idea of like this big world tree, like an avatar, a tree of that kind of size, that's kind of what mountains used to be. Giant prehistoric trees.
It would be incredible to live in those days when trees were immense.
This thing here says at its height, this tree's trunk was 2.5 miles across. The tree fully grown would reach 10 miles into the sky.
Wow.
The more you look at these kind of things, you go, actually, you know what? These things do really look like trees, and they appear in places where you're just like, I can't see how that could be a rock formation. Like how this is a rock formation in the middle of nowhere, Whereas there's a giant tree, and it's kind of like these trees don't grow in forests like we see them now. This thing would require all of the resources for like miles and miles and miles. If it's going 10 miles up into the air, it's going to require a root system underneath it that you can't have like 10 of them next to each other. They're going to be quite far apart. Anyway, interesting, and then the Bhagavatam says that most plants and herbs will be tiny, and all trees will appear like dwarf shami trees. Clouds will be full of lightning. Homes will be devoid of piety. These things come back. And all human beings will have become like asses. At that time, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear on the earth. Acting with the power of pure spiritual goodness, he will rescue eternal religion. You want to read?
We have hope. I wouldn't like to be more later on in Kali Yuga here. Appears so excruciating. I'll text him.
Yeah, I'm just texting him again. I rang him. Okay, you read. I'll call him.
Okay. Text 17. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the spiritual master of all moving and non-moving living beings, and the supreme soul of all, takes birth to protect the principle of religion and to relieve his saintly devotees from the reactions of material work. If everything will be like so, what do you call this one? Degraded.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
It will have to take some sort of like a special souls to be parents of
You ready
Krishna
to
himself in
go
this
online
material
for the
world.
Vaishnava Voices podcast?
Today is Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, okay. So it's okay. Did we set it for Thursday, did we? Or Wednesday? Okay, my apologies in that case, Prabhu. A bit of a mix up there. Okay, great. Actually, no, yeah, I'm looking back through what we wrote. It was Wednesday, yeah. Yes.
Wednesday 23rd.
Okay. Okay. So you want to do it tomorrow? Yeah, all good, Prabhu. I understand what farm life is like. Okay. No problem. Let's do it tomorrow. Same time.
Okay.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Oh no.
So there you have it, folks. Bit of a mix-up. We got the dates mixed up. We're going to be back with Vedic agriculture tomorrow, same time, 6:30 New Zealand time, whatever time that is in your local time zone.
But we're enjoying this.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about we give another 15 minutes?
Sure. Krishnendu says in most countries, the big trees were pulled out by oxen. Fun fact for you, did you know that this word oxen, which is the plural of ox, right? This is one of the ways that plurals were formed in Middle English by adding en on the end of it. There's a couple of different ones. Brethren, which is the plural of brother, and children, which is the plural of child. So children, ox, oxen. Child, children, ox, oxen.
Ian. Ian.
Ian?
Did you say en? At the end was added en.
Correct.
So that's why comes the word men.
Man
Plural.
to men?
Men.
Yeah, it could be actually, yeah.
Woman.
Yeah, woman to woman.
Yeah. Okay.
child to children, and ox to oxen. Now, why did some words retain that? Apparently, it's because they were so frequently used
Mhm.
and in a particular context that they were resistant to the change because people were saying them all the time.
Okay.
So that means that in Middle England, that period, oxen, and children inhabited the same kind of space in people's lives.
So very important then.
Yeah, exactly. So that's an interesting point about
Would you
why
prefer to have
oxen,
children or oxen?
both. In other words, oxen are treated like children. Yeah, they're considered part of the family, and
Mm.
as much as the children are. So a child and an ox inhabit the same space for the people linguistically, which is why it's oxen rather than oxes,
Okay.
and why it's children rather than childs.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So one more text. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we got to do. Lord Kalki will appear in the home of the most eminent Brahmana of Shambhala village, the great soul Vishnu Yasha.
The great soul Vishnu Jasa. So this person will take birth.
Lord Kalki, yeah.
No. But like it will
Vishnu
be in the,
Yasha?
yeah,
Vishnu Yasha.
yeah, and in Sambala. Where is Sambala, by the way? Village.
Shambhalagram. Isn't Shambhala like a... No, that's Shangri-La. Let's find out.
Has been in India, definitely.
Yeah, it is. It's this Buddhist, mythical Buddhist kingdom that's said to exist somewhere between the Himalaya mountains and the Gobi Desert. In Shambhala, all of the citizens have achieved enlightenment.
The Tibetan Buddhist.
Yeah.
Wow, incredible. That's amazing.
It's mentioned in the Kala Chakra Tantra. The Sanskrit name is taken from the name of a city mentioned in the Hindu Puranas, probably in reference to Shambhala in Uttar Pradesh. The mythological relevance of the place originates with a prophecy in Vishnu Purana, according to which Shambhala will be the birthplace of Kalki, the next incarnation of Vishnu, who will usher in a new age, Satya-yuga, and the prophesied ruling kingdom of Maitreya, the future Buddha.
Mm.
Epic.
So it's not going to come in the Hare Krishnas.
Lord
Okay.
Kalki, the Lord of the universe, will mount his swift horse Devadatta and sword in hand travel over the earth, exhibiting his 8 mystic opulences and 8 special qualities of Godhead. Displaying his unequaled effulgence and riding with great speed, he will kill by the millions those thieves who have dared dress as kings. There you
Love
go.
it.
Trust the plan.
By the millions. Wow. He has to be like, how is he going to do that? Incredible.
It's going to be great to see.
All of the sutras.
Oh, this is so good. These verses describe the thrilling pastimes of Lord Kalki. Anyone would be attracted by the sight of a powerful, beautiful man riding on a wonderful horse at lightning speed, chastising and devastating cruel demonic people with the sword in his hand. Of course, fanatical materialists may argue that this picture of Lord Kalki is a mere anthropomorphic creation of the human mind, a mythological deity created by people who need to believe in some superior being. But this argument is not logical, nor does it prove anything. It is merely the opinion of certain people. We need water, but that does not mean man creates water. We also need food, oxygen, and many other things that we do not create. Since our general experience is that our needs correspond to available objects existing in the external world, that we appear to need a supreme Lord would tend to indicate that, in fact, there is a supreme Lord. In other words, nature endows us with a sense of need for things that actually exist and that are in fact necessary for our well-being. Similarly, we experience a need for God because we are in fact part of God and cannot live without him. At the end of Kali Yuga, this same God will appear as the mighty Kalki Avatara and beat the pollution out of the demons. Old school.
Love it.
Back when Haridana Das Goswami used to be like 4 on the floor. Yeah. It's what people are looking for these days. So there you go. Symptoms of Kali Yuga described. Chapter 2 of the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's give people a link to this chapter so you can read along at home. It's not available in the first edition books because there was no first edition of this when Srila Prabhupada was around. It was completed by disciples of His Divine Grace, Gopi Puranadana, Prajumna Prabhu, and Haridananda Das Goswami.
Who's
Mhm.
that?
Haridananda Das Goswami.
Isn't the name the Jewish guy?
The
American.
I mean, how many of them aren't?
Okay. Well, in Hare Krishna, you have repetitive names. Anyways, okay.
So there you go. Thanks for tuning in. The 3 people watching on YouTube right now, and anyone else who watches this in the future. Yeah, we appreciate your time and your attention. And
Tomorrow.
our apologies that Radha Krishna Prabhu didn't make it today. A bit of a mix-up on the dates. He's now got someone coming on his farm that he has to meet with, so he couldn't do it today. So we'll be back tomorrow for the Vedic agriculture episode. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, total world victory of Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Let's go out with the intro, and then let's just go straight to the background music from His Grace Gaura Prabhu and our nice little kind of outro piece.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna.